speaking of Kamala and speaking of the border, we had 2 Border Patrol agents that came on in the past 2 years, right? Because we wanted to learn about it from people that are there on the ground. And one of the things that we found out was a lot of times they keep arresting the same people because the people that are coming in illegally aren't being prosecuted. That's one of the biggest problems they were saying. What can we do differently to make things safe at the border? It's the fact that a father can't sleep at night because he doesn't know who's going through his yard or going through it. It's just not fair. It's not what you sign up for when you're an American. What are you going to do differently?
So the borders, well, I did it. We had the best border.
Oh, the wall, they should have kept it. I agree.
We had the wall built. We had more going to come long beyond what I promised. I built hundreds of miles of wall, and it worked. Walls work. Walls and wheels. I say it all the time. Two things, they never get obsolete. Well, wheels and walls.
Well, they also supplied infrastructure. Like, people don't understand, the wall also was a place where Border Patrol agents could go to get water, to get food, to rest. It provided like a shelter out there as well.
It worked.
They're in the middle of nowhere. They said it worked. The two that I've spoken to said it worked.
And I was going to do 200 miles of wall. We had it built, and to the specifications of the Border Patrol. We were going to put it up. And it would take 3 weeks to put it up. That's an additional 200 miles to fill up certain areas that, when you make the wall, then all of a sudden they start coming through other areas. We had it wired, and they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't put it up. And I realized they wanted open borders. Kamala wants open borders. She's going to have open borders. We'll have 50, 60 million people because of them.
Sick.
We have over 20 million people, in my opinion, right now that came into our country. Many come from prisons, jails, mental institutions, many terrorists. Do you know that other countries now, their crime rate is way down because they're sending all their criminals to us?
It's a party.
They're sending all of their criminals to us. And who would take this? Why is this a good thing? It's a horrible. She should be ashamed. And, she was the border czar, too. He put her in charge. She was the worst border czar in the history of the world.
She's a roller skater. That's what somebody told me the other day.
She's terrible.
But what are you going to do? What's going to happen with the border when you're back?
We're going to seal the border, and I had it very well sealed. We had the most successful border in the history of our country. We're going to seal the border. We're going to finish up certain areas of the wall because they didn't do it, and we're going to have an unbelievable border, and we're going to spend a lot of time getting the criminals out. Look, we have murderers in our country now.
I don't think people should be allowed to be in our country if they're criminals.
Well, then you're going to be very unhappy to know that we have a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of murderers. We have people, drug dealers talking about drugs. It's not even believable that they'll do it. So what they've done is they've allowed murderers, people in prisons, people in jails, people in mental institutions and sanitariums, and terrorists to pour into our country by the hundreds of thousands. And they are in our country right now. And the country that brought him out said, if you ever come back, we're giving you the death penalty or we're going to kill you.
Well, in Brooklyn alone, there's a huge building that is housing just Haitian people. They're just housing this wandering around Brooklyn all the time. My friends are telling me.
They have some rough people too, really rough people.
So if you get reelected to the border, you're going to continue that project.
Well, we're
going to make sure it's safe.
We had the safest border and the best border in the history of our country. And now it's a disaster.
Somebody invited Biden to the border and they said he went to a Borders Books, dude. And